Okay, today has been a nightmare, but I'm sure it's made for one crazy vlog, and I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be the first vlog on this channel, and it'll be about ants in my house. And I've spent the entire Saturday trying to get rid of ants and setting bait traps and all that stuff. And I got a lot of footage, and I'm sending it to an editor, and we'll have a one-day turnaround, and then that one should lead right to this one. And honestly, you might have just seen that, and it led to this video, but yeah, it's been a crazy day, and now I finally get to animate. It's 5:30, and yeah, I should have been animating at like 10 a.m., but it's been nuts. So we last left off in this room right here, and I haven't really exported these animations whatsoever because I spent a little more time just knocking out the coworkers. So the line here is, let me see here, make sure it plays for you. Should play. Oh. Then he started doing it to his coworkers. Yeah, I found out a way to send the audio to you guys too, so that's exciting. All right, so yeah, we've got the coworkers line. Then he started doing it to his coworkers and even the customers, which is what we need next. So we're gonna do Office 5 and build from there. And even the customers. So I need to build like some sort of customer room. Well, I don't know what that looks like, but it should have windows, I think, instead of this creepy office. So let's go ahead and build off of this wall. We'll just put it in an entirely different area. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, that's why. Undo's not working because I don't have the German, or I don't have the American keyboard selected. Pain in the butt. Okay. There's that. There's this. Get rid of these things. You know what? I want to put that wall back there. And yeah, we can do this. Okay, so when I think, and even the customers, there's probably a door right here. And actually, now that I think about it, I need to add, let's start at 550, go to 650, something like that. And I gotta drag in the, and even the customers line. So where is that at? Is it liver 4 or liver 3? Liver 4, okay. And even the customers. And even the customers. And even the customers. I am very frazzled after today. Like I don't know what to say. I want to be entertaining and informative at the same time, but this is one difficult day. It's been one difficult day. All right, so I got that, and even the customers, and even the customers. I'm excited to have that vlog though. I've been kind of trying to. I've been going back and forth between this type of video where it's me making stuff and something a little more entertaining for people, a little more digestible, because I don't know how many people want to sit and watch me work for 2 hours. You know, it's just, it doesn't seem very fun to me. But some people, they want to learn that way, I guess. I don't know. But the vlog part of it sounds more entertaining to me. And even the all right. So I need that to start at 550, the starting frame. And even the customers. And then let's bring a camera right here. Push that camera in. I don't think John is tall enough here. And okay, this looks fine. Let's go ahead and add the people. Add the peeps. So this was the thing that ChatGPT made that looks like a customer. I said I wanted it to be a casual looking dude, and so he looks pretty casual. But we gotta do the Photoshop, add the liver in this one. So let's go ahead and open Photoshop. 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 It's top 10 right there. All right. I had this one open from the boss, so we will keep that one back. Drag this guy in. Maybe not. Okay, whatever. So first we will isolate this guy and duplicate him because we'll get rid of that crazy see-throughness. There. See-throughness. Alright. Let's export him out. Yeah, see-throughness. I don't know. See-throughness. I don't even words today. Oops. Wrong. Alright, let's add the liver. Take it from this guy. And something I did last night that I think seemed fine is I did a little overlay to make it look like it was inside the bag, and then I duplicated it. And so, yeah. Now it looks like it's more in the bag rather than this version, which is fine. I think it's fine. It's a little more red than I want it to be. Maybe we can tone that back down. I guess I would have to do it to both, huh? Oh no! That's one busted liver. That poor man. I guess that's why he had it removed. Alright, that's more brown. Alright. So, this is fine. Let's go ahead and create that. Convert the smart object and export him. Bump it down. Oh, by the way, if you're ever using Photoshop, one of the the shortcut I use the most is Control Shift Alt and E all at the same time. It looks like this. And basically, it takes whatever is visible and it flattens it into one rastered image. So it just creates a layer 3, and it took everything that was under it and made it into one image. And that's usually what I turn into a smart object and export as a PNG. So if you ever see like me work with a shit ton of layers and then suddenly it's all just one layer, that's how I do it. Did I already export it? No. quick export PNG. We'll, what is this guy's name? Tony. Tony the Liverman. Alright, let's add some of these dudes in here. First, go to downloads, add Tony Liverman. Drag him over. And up the roughness, down the IOR, like what I explained yesterday. And then we will do this guy as well. Alright, I don't know if their heights are going to match what they should be doing right now. I gotta add some lights real quick. Actually, I'm just gonna steal one of these lights, duplicate it. Because it seemed like good enough office light. It is so creepy without windows and a dude holding a liver in a bag. It's weird when you start to think about it. You kind of have to stop and not think about it. All right. So I need an outside view, and I just moved all of these freaking downloaded images onto my Easy Store drive. But I had a ton of stuff. Hold on, that's not what I need. What am I looking for here? Summer 2025 cleanup. In my downloads, I have a ton of like good-looking pictures. Yeah? Oh, sorry, I thought my wife was knocking. I just need like an outside the window city view, and I have a ton of them. Just don't know if I kept it in my downloads. I should have. I mean, you can see there's a ton of pictures here. Man, some are so freaking old. Maybe I can just sort by date. That'll help. That did not help at all. It like sorted them upside down. No, it didn't. I don't know what the hell I'm looking for now. I think some of these are backwards. Did I put them somewhere else, maybe? Sorry, I know this is not very entertaining, but you know what? We'll just we'll generate a new one with ChatGPT. Here's what I'm gonna ask. You know that way that we cheat to get a larger flat image at the bottom by extending the sky? Well, I need a flat scene of a city sidewalk, just road at bottom, then sidewalk horizontally above that, then of course city buildings. Try to fit like 10 next to each other, which will require a shitload of sky at the top. Yeah, that's not probably the best way to prompt something, but ChatGPT and mine have gone back and forth on how to do like longer images that I can use as backgrounds. And the only way that it can do it, because it's limited in the ratio size, is to extend the sky super high so the bottom of it has more buildings. And see, this one isn't as zoomed. Actually, you know what? That's fine, but I want it zoomed out more. Zoom out more, please. But yes. um, and so it knows that I want a flat texture, and usually I want a lot of it so it can be way, way in the background, like a bunch of trees or something. And so it'll just keep adding sky, and the more sky it adds, the more buildings it can fit in the bottom. And usually it's just like this spot right here is all buildings, and then it's sky. I don't know why it's not doing widescreen though, because that's been discussed. We should be doing widescreen, but whatever. It's the robot, not me. But let's go ahead and add that in. I want it to be emission, because I don't want the... Oh, come on. That's not what I wanted. Emission, because I don't want the light to affect it. I just want it to put off its own light. And let's see where ChatGPT's at. Okay, well that's fine. But you can see what I mean. It added so much sky at the top to add a few more buildings to the left and the right. Okay, this is fine. I don't know why it made a super tall image. I don't know. It seems to be changing a lot of things. Ant problem, ants. Yeah, you can see all this kind of ant, this ant stuff I was looking up earlier. Oh man, it was a day. Pour boiling water over fire ants to kill the colony. Oh my god, that is... Oh my god. That is metal. Okay. We didn't do that. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace this one. Actually, let me just get rid of it, because I did like the other one more. Super tall emission. Bring it up, bring it up. Alright, I have this add-on called Bagapie, and it makes it easier to add windows. So I'm gonna do that. Man, I hate when I'm working inside small buildings. The amount of freaking... Why can't I... 1, 2, 3, 4. Why can't I add a loop cut on it? I'll just isolate it by itself. There we go. Alright. Window 1, window 2. Let's bevel. Those look fine. And then we're going to add a door. I know it looks like I'm in the way, but I'm so used to it I can see past it. What is it J? No, is it D? Yep. Window, modern. And then... Oh my god, let's just undo that. First, let's Control A, apply all transforms. There we go. Now it should be fine. D, window, modern. That is what I want. Okay, now they're smaller and they're... Okay, let's get rid of the shutters. This is not something that you'll probably be able to do unless you bought the Bagapie modifier stuff. I bought it a long, long time ago, but the dude, he just keeps adding on to it. There's so many things that he just keeps adding. I mean, it was definitely worth the money. Okay, so first of all, I need a good glass material. And I'm just gonna put it on a random cube over here for now. And of course, again, Blender Kit is what I use up here at the top. I will preach it all day, Blender Kit, Blender Kit, Blender Kit, because you're paying to support other 3D artists and you get to use their assets. And I mean, it's, if you're into Blender, you should get Blender Kit. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how much it is. I think it's like $12 to $15 a month or something. Okay, I've got Cool Glass as a shader, and I like it because there's a little bit of refraction, but you can see through it as well, and it lets light through. And some glass shaders don't, because I don't use cycles. That'll be confusing to new people probably, but yeah. Son of a bitch, that's not what I wanted. Okay, glass ID down here. Glass. Cool glass. There. Nice, nice, nice. And then, see, that's why I hate working in small rooms, because like I can't move around without the fucking wall getting in the way. Okay. Reveal thickness? No. That's not what I want. I need depth. There we go. Let's just make it go all the way up to the wall, because like that's how windows are. Looks good to me. All right, now let's make that door. That's John, not the door. Do I have to get rid of this middle line here to do this? I've never actually done the door option. Door simple? Yep. All right, that makes sense. Hey, it's cool. Adds a little handle there. Simple enough. I wonder what the other one looked like. Door double? Cable creator. What the fuck? Bolt corner? Man, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about. Okay, yeah, let's just go with the door simple. What the fuck? Alright, now, can you tell why this looks wrong? Because the buildings look tiny. We need to make them much larger. And we add a little bit of road there. And that looks correct. Cool. Alright, that looks like the entrance to an office. And then I just want to add like a couple chairs. And Blender Kit will take care of that. I keep searching Blender Kit when I'm talking about Blender Kit. Chair. These look like waiting chairs. 2,000. I think I can handle that. When you right click the stuff, it shows you the face count, which is how many shapes are in it, how many polygons. And so if it said like 30,000 or something like that, it would have bogged my computer down. It would have used more memory on from my computer. But because it's only like 3,000, I can handle it. And so that's why I said I can handle it. Right. Now I just need a couple more of those. Can I just join it together and array it? Because, yeah, I can do that because I don't need that much detail on it. 3. All right, and then I'll just duplicate that, put it over yonder. Yeah. Cool. All right, now yeah, there we go. Let's rotate this and the camera to match John here. Why is my face so bright? Is there a light in my face? Yeah, must be. Alright, I just want to set up the reveal here. Alright. Now, here's an issue. As you can see, there's like this weird moire thing going on. And it's because these two shapes, this guy and this guy, are two planes and they're kind of intersecting right here. So they're competing for that location in Blender. If I just moved this guy slightly back or slightly forward, it would get rid of that issue, which I'm going to do now. There, I moved them slightly forward, and now they're not in the competing space. And just, like, you could probably see that they no longer intersect each other. Yeah, if you zoom up, or if you go above it and look at them, now you can see that the orange one is on top, and the yellow one is, like, more forward. And so that's what just happened there. Nobody asked, but I explained anyway. Because I want these guys to kind of move in as I zoom backwards. Alright, how long is this again? And even the customers. Alright, we're going to start with John. Whoa. Got my eye on the line. Show my feet in this economy. Bend my feet up a little. There. All right, let's insert keyframe there. Back it up, and even the custom. Back it up, back it in. Is it? Okay. Something's up here. Maybe I bend this guy backwards a little bit. So I can make him closer. The weird part about it is me. But you know what? I think I'm overthinking that. I'm just going to leave it. And the customers. I don't want to be in the way of the bag. Customer. Okay. You know what? That's fine to settle right there. So I'll go a couple frames before it, insert a keyframe there, and then stretch out the last keyframe. So it really slows down at the end. The customers. Yep. And even the customers. And the customer. The customer. That's where the accent is. Like the word that I emphasize. Even the customers. Like that hit is when I want it to show. I don't know. I can't explain why that is, but that's what feels right. Even the customers. All right, yeah, I need this to back up a little more. Even the customers. Whoops. Let's try that. Customers. All right. Even the customers. And then I'll go in a couple frames. And then extend that back so it slows down. Even the customers. Yep. And even the customers. It's better. And even the customers. Oh my god. And even the customers. Oh. Okay. 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 Alright, I think that part is done. Except it's a little bright on these guys, and see how that looks. Okay, that looks fine, but I need light coming from the outside now. Let me add a sun. Then aim it inward. I'm curious here. Shouldn't the sun be shining through? Hmm. You'd think the sun would be shining through those windows in a specific way, but you know what? They're not cutouts; they're booleans, so I guess that makes sense. That is not working the way I want it to. Can I get rid of that and the windows stay? It did work, I think. Yeah, the window's still there. Now, is it shining through the glass? Um, hmm. I'm very confused here. Why it's not shining through the way that I want it to. Let me think here for a second. We've got a cube, and inside the cube, or we've got an inset here on the cube, and then we have that face removed. So there should be a square of light inside this cube, right? But it's all lit up. Where am I going wrong here? Shadow. Is it? I think that was the issue. Oh my god, what am I doing now? I'm so freaking sidetracked. All right. It's so confusing. There should be like a square of light through this square, shouldn't there? Why? What is happening? How could this be? Okay. There it is. Well, why was that? Is it because this thing was in the way? That's absolutely what's going on. The shadow right here is being cast by this sun, even though the sun's in front of it. I guess, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter where the sun is, the shadows never move. It's only the rotation that moves. Okay, alright, so. This is the problem. It's casting a shadow. Let's fix that. It shouldn't be, but it is. Alright, backface culling turned on. Now, I should have some sort of square light coming through. And if I don't, I'm gonna freak out, man. There! Yeah! There it is! That's all I wanted. It doesn't even look good, but there it is. Oh my god. Okay. Whatever. I'm just, like, out of spite, I'm gonna leave it. No, I'm not. I'm just happy it worked. I was very confused for a second. Alright, so we need a light over here. I'm just gonna lazy light it. And by lazy light, I just mean placing lights wherever to make it look good enough. Even though it doesn't make sense why a light would be there. Like, right in front of my face, sometimes that's all I need. I can just take the shadow off and it's lit up. Alright, let me go ahead and render this image. Hopefully I didn't fucking ruin anything by turning off the HDR. HDRI. Actually, it looks fine. It looks fine. There's a lot of negative space at the top, which is kind of bugging me. Maybe I can delta rotate the camera down, down a little bit. And even the customers. Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna overthink it anymore. Ever again. Alright, what's next? What's the next line? So that was liver 4, I believe. Right? Yep, so we need office number 6. Let me go back to office 5 just to make sure that it's the same file. And even the customers. Yep. John's losing his mind. John's losing his mind. John lost his mind. Where did John's mind go? Alright, liver 5 needs to be in. You know, I do this way too much. I'm just gonna change the sequence. Or change the panel to sequence. Sequencer. Sequential. Alright, if that's 479 frames, then 700 plus 479 is 1,149. 1,179, yep. Sweet. Alright, let's hear what John has to say. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, the dude gets his paycheck. But here's the twist. It wasn't even his liver. Okay, why? So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, the dude gets his... Why do I have 2 others? What are those? What are those? I have liver 6, too. Oh, I know what it was. I tried stupid or genius at the end of it, but I don't think I'm even going to use that one. It wasn't even his liver. Okay, so we're on the very last one, and then we can export and finish this bitch off. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I said stupid or genius. Okay, I gotta go get something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, we got one final scene to animate. And it's a doozy. There's a lot going on. 479 frames. So, first of all, I know that I need to make the boss nervous. What'd be cool is if this entrance area, like, if the camera flipped around and, like, there was the boss's office. Which, technically, it is, but it's, like, kind of far away. So let's listen again. I might be overcomplicating it. So the boss is freaking out and yeah, you know, yeah, okay. Excuse me. Well, I said excuse me. Alright, so I want to make this guy pacing back and forth. Or maybe like him thinking, you know? You know? Yeah, you know. Let's see what GPT has in store for us. Please make this character. Please make this character worried and thinking as if he's pacing back and forth. Full body, transparent, PNG, please. Yeah, so like I said yesterday, normally I have a button that says full body transparent PNG and I just press it and it types that for me. But I have connected my Stream Deck to this so I can go back and forth between my scenes. Yeah. And that's the end of that story. I'm just stalling. So, I don't want to move the camera or press play because it'll jump back to the other scene. So the boss is freaking out and let's go ahead and you know what? I might just leave those funny legs that we made yesterday. What is that right there? I know it's not a part of me. Oh, it's a part of the chair. Whatever. All right, let's add number 5. And we need to make it up the roughness, lower the IOR, and it starts at 700. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, I guess I need to delete this stuff. Why does that have a keyframe on it? So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, all right, so I need it to pull back from me again. I can't remember what it looked like last time, but something like this, where it doesn't reveal that my legs are fake. All right, we can start there and see how this goes. Let's see, let's check in on ChatGPT. It's not horrible. He looks like he has more of a migraine than anything, I guess. I just don't like it. Let's see. Worried thinking. F. See if we can find a picture of a person and yeah, like this. No, more like this. Now watch. I gave it a reference image, and it'll just try to create that reference image now or something, or it won't make a transparent background. Like I've had that happen way too many freaking times. But let's see. It's it's a little unpredictable. So the boss is freaking out, and I want to make it slightly tilted. I don't know. Something about that. Besides reminding me of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version, because for some reason it like they always do this with the camera. Um, it makes it feel uneasy. I think it might be a Tim Burton thing, but yeah. Okay, let's check in on GPT again. Wow, sure is taking its fucking time. I've considered paying the $200 thing a month just to see if it speeds up the image generation, but I don't think it will. Oh, I thought that was his mouth for a second. Like when you zoom here, when you zoom way in and you only get like this much of the image, it looks like his mouth. Look at this. It does. It looks like he's going. Oh man, that is funny. Let's see. Can I match it? Oh wait, I'm looking the wrong way. I don't know. It's tough to tell because I can't see myself. All right. Yeah. So yeah. Let's get back to work. All right. That's good. It would be nice if he made it more realistic, but whatever. Oh shit. You know what? I want to take it into Photoshop and make it not suck. Okay. So we'll just leave it as is. Hide everything else. Duplicate it. Now it's good. To duplicate in Photoshop, press Control J. That's what I do. Probably Command J if you're using Mac. And now I have only these two layers that are visible. All these others are hidden, so they might as well not exist. But I've got these two that are visible. I'm just going to add one more new layer. Press Control Shift Alt and E, and it combined those two into one layer. So I can hide these and it'll still be there. And yeah, that's what I then right click, convert to a smart object, and that is what I export. So it's all smashed together. I had like alluded to it earlier, kind of hinted at what I was doing, but that's the full breakdown. Tony's boss. I really don't know why I called him Tony. Seemed right. Maybe it's all the Tony's Chocolonely stuff that I heard off of My First Million, my favorite podcast. Or it could be that Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle always calls these flies that he saves Tony. Bye, Tony. I'll miss you. Or it could just be random. All right. Let me pull this light just a little bit more above him. He can stay, I guess. So the boss is freaking out, and I would like the boss's eyes to be at the eye line. So I need him to kind of cross over. I just realized this is the first time I've started to use these side views in these, like, yeah, in these videos. All right, so let's turn on the keyframing, and so the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, okay, now he's walking. So the boss is freaking out, and okay, that's good. We just want him to stop right around there. So we'll delete all those keyframes after. Jump to the first, scale these keyframes up so they move. So the boss is freaking out, and 20. Not that much scale. So the boss is freaking out, and we'll just back these up. Can I just do it right there? So the boss is freaking out, and 20. I want it to be up a little more, and then over a little more. Insert that keyframe. Maybe if I back this up. And 20 minutes. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes. So the boss is freaking out, and yeah, this sucks. Let's try this again. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes. Nope. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes. Nope. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later. Let's see how that looks. So the boss is freaking out, and it's like that extra hop there. Like, that's how high I want the hops to be. So try it again. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes. So the boss is freaking out, and so the boss is freaking out, and 20. Maybe I follow him like this. And 20. So the boss is freaking out, and 20. The boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later. Nope. The boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it like this. Up. Yep. And then down. Down. Okay. And then we will duplicate that. Control R, or Shift R, Shift R, Shift R, Shift R. The boss is freaking out, and okay, now I have a consistent hop. And now all I gotta do is keyframe the delta. I mean, that's fucking annoying to me, but I couldn't get it right. So the boss is freaking out, and Shift R, and we just need to. Is it the X of the delta? Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want it that far. Come on. Alright, that's where 0 starts. Last night I had this dream that I was in a play, but I didn't even try to memorize the lines because I was, like, too busy fucking around. And, yeah, that was the end of the dream. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes. Oh, it's not. I need to change the interpolation. There we go. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes. You know what? I think it's okay that he walks over just a little further. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, the dude gets his paycheck. Okay, so 20 minutes later, the dude gets his paycheck. So maybe the guy's standing there, and then a hand comes out and hands him the check. Right. Let's do GPT again. I lost track. Am I on Office 6 or Office 7 now? I'm just going to switch it to 7, just to be safe. That happens sometimes. Boss is freaking out. And, yeah. What's the most badass picture of this guy? Because that's the one I need ChatGPT to emulate. Okay, that one's more realistic. These are more realistic. This one looks like it came straight from Ray William Johnson, like one of his videos. I just wish it would do the realistic shit all the time. Man, those legs, the way that they move back and forth would have been perfect if they weren't, like, perfect for walking, if it wasn't totally different. Okay, it was this one. Please recreate this character. Hyper realistic and standing facing straight with his arms crossed like he's waiting for an apology. Full body transparent PNG. Always. Yeah, I don't know why it gave this, like, line on this guy's face. It's a very defining feature. I mean, it started sort of from the very beginning. Cool. All right. And so the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, I need the camera to whip over to the door where the guy's standing. So let's get that right. And start the camera right there. 20 minutes. Yeah, this is the easiest way to do it because the guy is going to be, the boss is going to be out of the frame, and the guy's going to be standing here, and then the boss's arm is going to come in the frame with a check. That just seems like the easiest route to me. Let's go ahead and get rid of John in the background. Get rid of liver guy in the background. We'll flip her around to where it looks like she's talking to the guy. Because it's kind of cool to have those characters still there. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later. Okay, now we don't want it to bounce backwards, so we'll just delete this keyframe, and we're just gonna slow push in and drag that bitch out here. 20 minutes later, the dude now, and 20 minutes later, the dude. 20 minutes later, the dude gets his paycheck. But minutes later, the dude gets his paycheck. But I don't know if it's moving far enough in. There. This wall here, is it rendering still? I need to know. Yep, it is. Cool. For those that don't know, in Blender, this little eye is seeing it in this display, this preview display, but this little camera is it still gets rendered or not in the animation. And so if the camera's on but the eye is off, then you won't see it, but it will still render it. And so that's what I was looking for. If you're interested. The reason is because at this shot right here, you can see it's not there, but in the render it will be. Like if I hit render image, it'll be there. Okay, let's check in on GPT. Good enough. And that's weird. I'm glad I hit that render image because there's a very terrible looking misaligned door here. And I remember putting it in, but I must have hit it. Yeah, it's not there. Alright, let's go find that door. There's so much shit in here. Office chair. Here's the door. Okay. Alright. Door looks good. It's just it needs aligned. Yep, looks fine to me. Alright, we'll just leave it as is. And we will put dude standing there, arms crossed, like a bad... Oh, well, you know what? We're still going to do the Photoshop thing. It's easier to do in Blender if you can just duplicate the character there, but if you have to move them at any point, it's a pain in the butt. Yeah. Tony arms crossed. Tony Baloney. Where's my mouse? Add. Mesh plane. There's Tony. Alright. Light is not working well. We need to turn up the roughness and down the IOR. And then we can put a light in front of his face because that's cheating, but it works. As long as we take off the shadow. Alright, looks fine to me. Let's see how this animation looks now. But here's 20 minutes later, the dude is he big enough? I don't think he's tall enough. Cool. So the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, the dude gets his pay. Alright, now we need a suit arm. POV style. Please generate a POV arm handing out a paycheck. Please make the arm wearing a suit. How do I say that? In a suit sleeve. And then transparent PNG. POV view. Please generate a first-person view of handing out a paycheck. Please make the arm in a black suit sleeve. Transparent PNG. Let's see what that does, because that should work, right? I hope. I hope. Bum, 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 bum. It's like the last thing we need. And, well, what the hell? Actually, that's perfect. But we need to do something in Photoshop. Uh, let's drag it into Photoshop and then extend that arm down a little bit. And let's change this to a paycheck. Let's just hop over to Adobe Stock and see what we can find. Paycheck. That one's fine. Oh, you know what? One thing I didn't like about this is it's not on the right side. Let's do that now. Let's do that now. All right, good enough. Let's get rid of this paycheck. Man, I hope I didn't get some of that ant poison on me. That shit. My arm is just itching. Who can it be now? Damn it. I'm not getting super detailed with this. I just want the thumb to sit over it like a normal image. Cool. I guess. Maybe it kind of looks a little weird. Okay, yeah, it does look weird without a little bit of a shadow under there. I said I'm not going to get too detailed, and then I'm like, all right, well, you know what? It could use a shadow. And maybe the edges could be a little cleaned up. Yep, okay, that's fine. All right, let's write a name on there. And then the name is discord.gg/John Scott. I always try to put a little promo in there, you know? You know? And maybe it doesn't need to be bold. Like regular, I guess. Yep, that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and move this crop just a little bit out. And we're gonna take that color, Make this a super long suit arm. What do you think? It's good? I think it's fine. I like it. It's ridiculous looking, but I like it. All right. Go ahead and export this whole thing as a PNG. Arm, check. And then we can bring it into view. Who can it be now? Okay, that's a problem. It's way too bright. Let's back that up just a tiny bit. All right. Main problem is Tony needs lit up, but pulling that light too close to him doesn't look great. So let's try a little bit of a trick that I do on occasion. Go to the shader editor. Click on Tony. We're going to go to his image, open up his emission, and we're going to drag his color into the emission color and put the strength up to like 0.25. And that should brighten him up entirely to where I could just get rid of the light. Let's try a little bit brighter. Yep, that's fine. And I'm going to do, let's see, with the light there, it looks fine. All right. Yeah, the light's fine, but now I need to lower him. All right, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good if I do say so myself. Save. And I'm sure that light has some sort of stupid ass keyframe on it that I don't want it to move. All right. 20 minutes later, the dude gets his paycheck. But all right, I definitely want it to be closer to him. 5 minutes later, the dude gets his paycheck. 20 minutes later, let's put the paycheck under the floor for now. The dude gets his. It's weird. It's like shooting up at him, and I don't like that. Let's bring it closer to him. Make sure he's in the eye line, as one does. 20 minutes later, the dude gets his. It's still going above him. Paycheck. And 20 minutes later, the dude okay, right here, 871. This can go up into view. And then I need him to be handing it. What the hell's happening? like that. Gets his paycheck. But gets his paycheck. But okay, and I say but at 9:20, so gets his paycheck. The dude gets his paycheck. The dude gets his paycheck. That's pretty good right there. Let's get rid of the lines just to see what it looks like. The dude gets his paycheck. Alright, so the boss is freaking out, and 20 minutes later, the dude gets his paycheck. But here's the twist. Paycheck. And then this is gonna spin sideways immediately to John. But I didn't mean for it to spin that direction, but it's fine. We need to add John again. Actually, I can just duplicate myself or move myself over there. Because I'm out of frame. You know what? I don't know why I would turn that way when I was sitting down. It makes no sense. Yeah, it makes sense that I stood up. Like, I don't need to make that make sense, but it feels better to me. Who can it be now? But. Okay. On that note, with so many buts, I'm gonna call it for today. Hopefully, you guys learned a little something, and then tomorrow starts a new one. It'll either be filming or animating. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully, you learned something. Hopefully, I don't know what to say. But if you didn't happen to catch, here's an end screen for you. If you didn't happen to catch the beginning of animating this thing, then take a look at this video here. It's the very first long form video I uploaded on the channel. It's like 2 hours long. So if you're looking for second screen content, then there you go. Look at that dent. Dent check.